Here's a video for the beginning of Blackbird. And I'm just going to cover some of the stuff that we already did and some additional material, and definitely do Blackbird in segments. But this is a new teaching method, or rather video, that I think is a little bit more instructive because I'm giving more information about where we're going. So when we start the piece, we're doing this in tenths. We're doing G, 6th string, 3rd fret, and open B. Both of those are being played. Next two notes are 5th string open, 1st fret of the 2nd string. Next intervals are going to be the 2nd fret of the 5th string and the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. So far we have. Okay. Then we're going to go all the way up the neck, and that 4th finger is going to slide all the way up to the 12th fret of the 2nd string, and then the 1st finger is going to grab the 10th fret of the 5th string. And so it would sound like this. Oh, and you are playing a G note, 3rd string open in between these two. Next one, there's no extra G. And then you slide, and you're going up to that interval there. So. Then, once you get up to this top part here, gotta make sure that you can see my right hand a little better. And I actually saw how Paul was doing this. He was going. He was strumming these with his index finger, and he actually was talking about how he gets that index finger manicured and has an acrylic nail applied to it. I don't have an acrylic nail. But you get that kind of percussive sound, like if you're going. So I think it might be a little bit part of a banjo technique. But so what you're going to do is play these notes, and sometimes you can use the 1st finger if you want. Some people like to use their 2nd, but I think he's using his 1st for everything. First time you play the first 2 notes, and then you start going. You got to do it down, up. So when you play it, then a down, and what I mean by down is I'm going to the, this direction on the guitar. And then up. Okay? So when you go, and then you play a bass note, 5th string, and then you go up, down. So it's. And sometimes you hit other strings. I think sometimes he occasionally hits the 4th string too. I've heard it in the recording. So. That happens twice, just like that. That's the intro. Then he goes back and he does the whole thing again, because that's when he starts singing. Blackbird singing in the day. The first time is just those notes. It's the intro. You start again. Okay? Exactly the same, except the second time you play it, there's a melody going on there that he's singing. Then the next part, pretty important here, is the way that we place our fingers. Okay, I like to use my first finger here and the fourth finger, and my third finger is on C, third fret of the fifth string, and then my second finger, or my second string is fourth finger, fifth fret. The reason I like using my fourth finger is it makes my hand stay more steady than if I used my third. That's just personal preference. So I have C and E, another tenth, right? These are all intervals of a tenth. And then you always play the third string G in between. The next chord, you're going to put your second finger on fourth fret of the fifth string. That's C sharp. And this is, I was singing the G there. The C sharp. And then your first finger goes on first string, third fret. So fourth fret, fifth string, second finger. First finger, third fret, first string. And it sounds pretty dissonant, you know, when it's just there by itself. It's supposed to. It's kind of, it's like doing a kind of diminished chord sound. It could actually be you know, some people think of it as going C and then add a second inversion of a dominant 7, but it could be also the C sharp diminished, especially since you got a G in there. Those are definitely the intervals that you would get in a C sharp diminished. So you have C and E, C sharp and G. And if you'll notice, I don't even move my fourth finger because I know I'm going to be using it next. And this is what I mean by next. I play this. I move all of these up 2 frets so that my first finger is now on 5th fret of the 5th string. And my fourth finger I'm sliding that up to the 7th fret of the 2nd string. So the same inner configuration I have here with my fingers, moving it up to those frets. Then still a G in between, and then I use my second finger and I go to the 6th fret of the 5th string, and my first finger is now on the 1st string, 5th fret. So I try not to move anything except those fingers that I need. More comfortable and easier to do that. And then I move these 2 fingers, second finger and fourth, up in pitch. So now my second finger is on the 2nd fret, on the 7th fret of the 5th string, and my second finger is on the 8th fret of the 2nd string. From here. And then Paul does he does the same thing that you were doing here. But now it's on the 8th fret and the 7th fret and the 8th fret. So you've done this. Which is an E minor chord, and then he goes to first finger now goes to the 6th fret, fourth finger stays on the 8th fret. So second finger, first finger. Okay. Then I take this first finger and fourth finger, slide it down in pitch, and I go to 5th fret, 5th string, 4th, and then the 4th finger is on the 2nd string, 7th fret. Okay. So I've done this. second finger on the 5th string, 4th fret, first finger on the 1st string, 3rd fret. So it's another thing that you've done before, except you were going up. Okay, so they're familiar chords. So from this chord here, what I'm calling the E minor chord, from the 7th fret and the 8th fret, 6th fret and 8th fret, go down, again in pitch, that's why I'm saying down, and then to the C chord that you did before. So you can do the 5th string, 3rd fret with your first finger, and the 2nd string, 5th fret with the 4th finger. You play that and you play the chord, which is C major, and then you turn into C minor. And how you do that is you take your 2nd finger and put that on the 4th fret with your first finger still on the C on the 3rd fret, 5th string. So you've gone from C major, C minor. Okay? And then what I like to do is I like to shift everything. You could shift this down, move those down 1 fret. See how I've gone like this? Then my 2nd finger, which is on the 2nd string, 3rd fret, moves to 2nd string, 2nd fret. Open A. It's like an A7. And then he does a really interesting sound here. He puts his first finger on C, 1st fret of the 2nd string, but he leaves the 3rd string open and he plays the 4th string as a bass. The G that you started with. So all of that is what I would like to learn as the first section that you play. Okay? So I'm going to start from the beginning, intro. Then you do it all over again for the lyrics. This down to the 3rd, I've heard the real squeak, you don't want to really do that, but then the 3rd fret and the 5th fret, 4th fret and 1st fret, move up to the 5th fret and the 7th fret, 6th fret and 5th fret, move both of these up in pitch, then use the first finger, down in pitch, and then do this chord with a with the 4th fret, 5th string, and the 1st string, 3rd fret, and then you create the C chord with the 1 and the 4, and then the 1 and the 2 to make a C minor. Bring that down, it makes a G chord with the B and the bass. 2nd finger down once again to C sharp and use an A, 5th string. Use your first finger on the 1st string, or rather 1st fret of the 2nd string, 4th string bass. Okay, so here you go, all of it. I just did that to make sure that you have all the fingerings. This time I'm not going to do any of the fingerings. 1 and 2 and 3 and... Okay, so that should be the first section that you really need to work on or practice. And hopefully this video was good enough instruction to help you with that, okay? So, hope you do well with it.